Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be going over my preview and predictions for the semifinals of Leagues Cup. These two games will be huge because the winners end up qualifying for the next CONCACAF Champions Cup, and the winner, as we all know, will get a first round bye. So this these two games will be huge for the four teams. The first game will be Inter Miami versus Orlando City, and the second one will be LA Galaxy versus Seattle Sounders. And we will be going over my preview and predictions for both of these games. So let's get ready with the video. But before we continue, I'd like to tell you guys to like and subscribe because it is very important that you guys like and subscribe so you guys can never miss another video. And to also follow me on X and on TikTok. There will be more content on both of those pages. So let's get on with the video. Let's first preview the game that will happen later on in the night, which will be the LA Galaxy versus the Seattle Sounders. The LA Galaxy will host this game because they are the reigning MLS Cup champions. But going into this game, the Seattle Sounders can seem as the favorites for many people because right now the Seattle Sounders in the regular season they are in a playoff berth, while the LA Galaxy right now are the worst MLS team by far. But in international competitions like CONCACAF Champions Cup early on in the year and during Leagues Cup especially, the LA Galaxy haven't looked that bad. Paintsville has managed to look really good in international competitions, especially during Leagues Cup, and this game can be closer than what many people think. One thing that many fans should take into consideration is that the Seattle Sounders won't count without their two best offensive weapons this season. Daniel Muzovsky got suspended in the quarterfinal, and Albert Rusnak is injured, so their two best offensive players throughout the season, they won't be counting without them for this game. And throughout the League's Cup, each game they've looked worse. They started off hot with beating Cruz Azul 7-0, but then in the rest of the group stage games, although they won those games against Santos and Tijuana, but they looked worse. And then against Puebla, one of the least talented Liga MX teams, they barely beat them by penalties. I know they were playing with 10 men, but you have to take that into consideration because it is something big. So I think with all this taken into consideration, I think the LA Galaxy will squeeze a win by penalties. I think it will be 1-1 in full time and the LA Galaxy win on penalties. Next, we will cover the high-profile game, the Florida Derby, Inter Miami hosting Orlando City. After Messi has arrived at Inter Miami, this has started to feel like a rivalry outside of both teams just being in Florida because there have been some high-profile games. That first game with Messi against Orlando City, where it was an entertaining game in the Leagues Cup, then Inter Miami squashing Orlando City 5-0. And then this season, Orlando City having Inter Miami's number. Like, really, Inter Miami have been the dogs of Orlando City. You're literally Orlando City's dogs this season. I mean, first it was a 3-0 Orlando City win at Fort Lauderdale. And then this past, like, couple weeks, I remember seeing Orlando City squashing Inter Miami 4-1. So this is starting to get like a rivalry. I feel like this will be an entertaining game to watch. This is starting to feel like a rivalry. There will be high tension for this game. Orlando City has had Inter Miami's number this season, and considering the fact that Inter Miami is hosting this game, I feel like the Inter Miami players will have something to prove for in this game, and they will know it because they all have a lot of pressure on their shoulders right now, considering the fact that their Florida rival has destroyed them both games. So I feel like this will be an entertaining game to watch with a lot of high tension in it. But you can also not take out of the question that Orlando City can just have themselves another day with Inter Miami. Like what I've watched this season from Inter Miami in high profile games, like both Orlando City games and both of the Vancouver Whitecaps games in the CONCACAF Champions Cup, from what I've seen is that Inter Miami tend to struggle against dynamic teams. In the Vancouver Whitecaps during that CONCACAF Champions Cup run, they were a dynamic team with a dynamic midfield. And Orlando City, although they don't have the quite the same dynamic midfield as the Vancouver Whitecaps did, But on the wings, Angulo and Pasalic are two dynamic players. Martin Ojeda, an MVP candidate this season, by the way, can change you a game. And you can also not forget Alex Freeman running down the wing from the right back position. He is dynamic. So you cannot take out of the question that Orlando City can just have themselves another day with Inter Miami, considering the fact that this Inter Miami team, with all their star players like Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez, Sergio Busquets, Jordi Alba, Rodrigo de Paul, they're all in advanced age. So outside of those five, also they have many guys in advanced age. So it's no question why this team tends to struggle against dynamic teams. So do not take out of the question that Orlando City can just have themselves on another day with this Inter Miami team. But I do feel like this will be a close game, and with Lionel Messi, even if he can come off the bench, I feel like this will help this Inter Miami team a lot. But even with that, I predict Orlando City beating Inter Miami yet again this season. I feel like for this game, it won't be a blowout though. I think Orlando City take a 2 goal lead coming to the half just because Inter Miami's defense just plainly sucks. And then in the second half, one of the big name Inter Miami players cuts the lead to one. They fall short yet again, and Orlando City pulls through to the final with a victory 2-1 over Inter Miami. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you guys very much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.